From a historian's point of view, literary sources include all texts, long or short, written or oral, in any forms. So, literary sources which are associated with ancient Indian history can be broadly divided into religious and non religious, that is, secular. Religious literary sources are those sources which are based on religion or religious beliefs. So, these type of literary sources further can be divided into three based on religions which were prevalent in ancient times. These are literary sources associated with Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma, literature associated with Buddhism, literature related with Jainism. So, now we will discuss about literature related to Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma. It can be largely classified into four. These are Vedas, epics, Puranas, and Dharmasastras. So, first we will discuss about Vedas. So, the term Veda has been originated from the Sanskrit root word Ved, meaning to know. Thus, the meaning of Veda is sacred knowledge or book. These are the core books of the Hindu religion. Vedas are four in numbers: Edist, Rig Ved, Samved, Yajurved, and Atharvaved. The Vedas are regarded as Shruti literature, which has been heard. Its meaning is which has been heard. Vedas are also called Apaurushaya. Apaurushaya means not created by man. Vedas are regarded eternal as well in Hindu religion. Each Veda has four parts like Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, and Upanishad. So now we will discuss about Samhita. Samhitas are nothing but the original four Vedas: Rig Veda, Samveda, Yajurveda, and Atharvaveda. Okay. Now we will discuss about Rig Veda. So the Rig Veda Samhita is a collection of 1028 hymns or suktas. These all are arranged in 10 books or mandals. Various hymns in the Rig Veda are addressed to different deities like Surya, Agni, Vayu, Pushan, Indra, Varun, Usa, etc. Book 2 to 9 are the oldest, while Book 1 and 10 are the latest addition to Rig Veda. This book is regarded as the oldest religious text in the world. Hotri class of priest is associated with the recitation of the hymns included in the Rig Veda. Now we will discuss about Samved. The Samveda Samhita consists of 1810 hymns or verses. These hymns or verses are mostly borrowed from the Rig Veda and arranged according to the needs of musical notation. Here, the word Shaman means melody, and the Samveda Samhita is a collection of melodies. Samveda is divided into two books called Archikas, or the collection of rich verses. Udgatri class of priests used or are permitted to recite the hymns of Samveda. Yajurved. Yajurved is a ritual Veda divided into two parts: black or Krishna Yajurveda and white or Shukla Yajurveda. The Yajurveda was compiled for the sacrificial rites only. Thus, it deals with the details of the performance of rituals. Advaryu are the priests who recites the mantras or hymns of this Veda. Atharva Veda is the latest Veda and contains hymns, some from the Rig Veda, but also spells and charms to ward off evil powers. So what it reflects, it reflects aspects of popular beliefs and practices of that time. It is divided into 20 canons containing 730 hymns, about 6000 stanzas. The hymns of this Veda is sung or recited by Brahman class of priests. Now we will discuss the second part of Veda, that is Brahmana. Brahmanas are prose explanations of the Samhita portions and give details and explanations of sacrificial rituals and their outcome. Every Veda has several Brahmanas attached to it. Aitreya and Kaustika Brahmanas are attached to Rig Veda. The Prandha and the Chandogya Brahmanas are attached to Samveda. The Satpatha Brahmana is attached to Yajurveda, particularly White Yajurveda. The Gopatha Brahmana is attached to Atharva Veda. Aranyakas. Aranyakas are the last books of the Brahmanas. They are the concluding portions of the Brahmanas. The Aranyakas interpret sacrificial rituals in a symbolic and philosophical way. The Aranyakas or forest books helped to bridge the gap between the Karma Marg and Jnana Marg. Now we will discuss about last portion of the Veda, that is Upanishad. The word Upanishad is derived from the root Upnishad, which means to sit down near someone. It denotes pupils or students sitting near his guru for instruction. These are also called Vedanta because they came at the end of the Vedic period and were taught at the end of the Vedic instruction. There are total 108 Upanishads, and these all are classified according to 4 Vedas. Now we will read about a special literature called Vedangas. The word Vedanga literally means the limbs of the Vedas. These are 6 in numbers. Examples are Shiksha, that is phonetics; Kalpa, that is ritual; Vyakarana, that is grammar; Nirukta, that is etymology; Chandas, that is metrics; and Jyotisha, that is astronomy. So these are Vedangas are supplementary texts aimed at helping the proper recitation, use, and understanding of the Vedas. Now we will come to second point, our in Hindu religious texts, that is epics. There are 2 epics or Mahakabya, namely the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. Mahabharata, it consists of 18 parvas or books. The core story concerns a conflict between 2 sets of cousins, the Kauravas and the Pandavas, and a great war that was fought between them at Kurukshetra. It was composed by Vyasa. Ramayana. This epic is very popular among the masses in India as well as all around the world. It consists of 7 cantos or books. The basic story is about Ram, who was the prince of Koshala, his banishment to the forest due to the intrigues of his wicked stepmother, and the abduction of his wife Sita by Ravana, who was the king of Lanka, and the Sita's rescue operation, and Rama's victory, as well as his return to the capital Ayodhya to become king. Traditionally, Ramayana is considered as the work of Valmiki. Now we will read about another class of texts of Hindu religion, that is the Puranas or the Purans. The word Purana means old. There are 18 Mahapuranas and many more Upapuranas. The 18 Mahapuranas are Vishnu Purana, Narad Purana, Bhagavad Purana, Garud Purana, Padma Purana, Barha Purana, Matsya Purana, Kurma Purana, Linga Purana, Shiva Purana, Skanda Purana, Agni Purana, Brahmanda Purana, Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Markandeya Purana, Bhavishya Purana, Vamana Purana, and Brahma Purana. Puranas mainly discuss five topics. Mainly discuss five topics, but they also discuss some other topics. Okay, so they discuss mainly five topics. These topics are the creation of the world, that is called Sarga; recreation of the world, that is called Pratisharga; the periods of the various Manus, that is Manamantaras; the genealogies of gods and rishis, that is called Vamsha; and an account of royal dynasties, that is called Vanshanu Charita. For the history writing purpose, the old details given in the Puranas do not always match in reality. The Puranas, especially the Vayu, Brahmand, Brahma, Matsya, Vishnu, Bhavishya, and these Puranas do provide useful information on ancient political history of India. Now we will read about the last classification of the Hindu religious texts, that is Dharma Shastra, a special group of Sanskrit texts dealing specifically with dharma are collectively known as the Dharma Shastra. Dharma refers to the proper ideal conduct of a person living in society, a course of action which leads to the fulfillment of, of the goals of a human life. So the goals here refers to purusharthas. The purusharthas are or purusharths are dharma, that is righteous conduct; artha means material well-being; kama, that is sensual pleasure; and moksha, that is deliverance from the cycle of birth and rebirth. So, some examples of Dharma Shastras are Kalpa Sutras, which include Shrota Sutras, Griha Sutras, and Dharma Sutras. Now we will study about literature related to Buddhism. Early Buddhist literature is generally divided into canonical and non-canonical texts. Canonical texts include Tripitaka, or collection of three baskets, is of worth mentioning in this context. The Tripitaka consists of three books, namely the Sutta, Vinaya, and Abhidhamma. The Sutta Pitaka contains the Buddha's discourses on various doctrinal issues in dialogue form. The Sutta Pitaka consists of five Nikayas or books: the Digha Nikaya, the Majjhima Nikaya, the Samyutta Nikaya, the Anguttara Nikaya, and Khuddaka Nikaya. The Vinaya Pitaka has rules for monks and nuns of the Sangha or monastic order. Okay. The Abhidhamma Pitaka contains the philosophical development of the teachings of Buddha. The Jatakas, or the stories of the previous births of the Buddha, are one of the 15 books of the Khuddaka Nikaya. Khuddaka Nikaya also contains Theragatha and Therigatha. These are also two books. Okay. Non-canonical texts in Pali includes the Milinda Panha, which consists of a dialogue on various philosophical issues between King Milind, that is Milinda, who is referred as the Indo-Greek king Menander, and the Buddhist monk called Nagasena. Vishuddhi Marga, or Path of Purification, is a commentary on Tripitaka which was written by Buddhaghosa. The Pali or Sri Lankan texts on Buddhism include the Dipavamsa and the Mahavamsa. Contains a historical cum mythical account of the Buddha's life. The Buddhist councils, the Mauryan Emperor Ashoka, the kings of Sri Lanka, and the arrival of Buddhism on that island, that is Sri Lanka, and how Buddhism developed in that country. So Sanskrit Buddhist texts include Ashwaghosa's Buddha Charita and the Avadana texts. Avadana texts are two in numbers, that is Avadana Sataka and Dibya Badana. Literature associated with Jainism. The sacred books of the Jainas are collectively known as the Siddhanta or Agamas. The canon of Jainism include 12 Angas, 12 Upangas, 10 Painas or Prakirnas, 6 Cheya Suttas or Cheda Sutras, fall Mul Suttas or Mul Sutras. The other Jaina books are the Trisasti Lakshana Mahapuran by Jinasena and Gunabhadra, the Parisista Parvan by Hemachandra. The earliest Jaina texts are in Prakrit language. After this, texts in Sanskrit language dominated the religion of Jainism. Now we will study about the Sangam literature. The earliest literature of South